For thousands of years, the story of Troy has lived somewhere between legend and history. A city of towering walls, a war sparked by betrayal, heroes like Achilles and Hector, and a wooden horse that changed everything. But what if Troy is more than a Greek legend? What if this ancient city quietly holds a clue that points us straight back to the Bible? For a long time, historians believed Troy was nothing more than a poem brought to life by Homer's imagination. A beautiful story, but not real history. Then, archaeology stepped in. Beneath layers of earth in modern-day Turkey, stone walls began to emerge. Burnt ruins, weapons, city gates. Troy was real. And once Troy became real, something even more unsettling followed. Because Troy did not exist in isolation. It sat at the edge of a powerful ancient empire, an empire the Bible mentions again and again, the Hittites. If you've ever read the Old Testament carefully, you've seen their name. Abraham buys land from a Hittite. King David's most loyal soldier, Uriah, was a Hittite. The Bible describes them as influential, organized, feared. But for centuries, skeptics mocked this idea. They asked a simple question. Where is the evidence? Outside the Bible, there was none. No cities, no inscriptions, no empire. And so critics claimed the Bible invented the Hittites to fill in its stories, until the ground itself began to answer back. In the early 1900s, archaeologists uncovered the ruins of a massive city called Hattusa, deep in ancient Anatolia. What they found there shocked the academic world. Tens of thousands of clay tablets written in cuneiform, treaties, military records, diplomatic letters. This was the capital of the Hittite Empire, an empire so powerful it rivaled Egypt. Suddenly, the Bible's so-called imaginary people stood revealed as one of the greatest civilizations of the Bronze Age. But the story doesn't stop there. Hidden among those clay tablets was a name that made historians pause. Wilusa. When linguists examined the word closely, they realized something remarkable. Wilusa is the Hittite rendering of Ilios, another name for Troy. This means Troy wasn't just a legendary Greek city. It was a real political player, known, recorded, and negotiated with by the same Hittite Empire described in Scripture. At this point in the story, pause for a moment. If archaeology confirmed the Hittites, and archaeology confirmed Troy, then suddenly the world of the Bible and the world of ancient epics are no longer separate. They overlap. And this is exactly the kind of hidden connection we uncover here on ArchaeoQuest. If you're enjoying this journey through ancient history and biblical evidence, take a moment to subscribe. It helps this channel grow, and it ensures you don't miss what we uncover next. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The Hittite records describe political instability around Wilusa, disputes, rebellions, Western enemies, a region constantly on the brink of war. While they don't describe the Trojan War the way Homer does, they confirm something crucial. Troy was a contested city caught between great powers. This fits perfectly with what archaeology found at Troy itself. Multiple layers of destruction, burned buildings, weapons left behind, a city destroyed and rebuilt again and again. One layer, dating to around the late Bronze Age, shows signs of violent collapse. The city fell, not from myth, but from conflict. And while the Bible never mentions Troy by name, it places the Hittites right at the heart of this world. Stretching from Anatolia down toward Syria and brushing against the lands of Israel, the Hittites were everywhere the biblical narrative says they were. When Scripture speaks of the kings of the Hittites, it isn't exaggerating. This was an empire capable of intimidating nations. So what does all of this mean for faith? It means that once again, archaeology did not disprove the Bible. It corrected the critics. For generations, skeptics pointed to the Hittites as proof that Scripture couldn't be trusted historically. Now, The very empire they dismissed has been uncovered, complete with archives, cities, and international influence. And Troy? Troy stands as a bridge between worlds, between legend and history, between Greek epics and biblical records, between skepticism and evidence. The Bible doesn't need Troy to tell its story, but Troy helps confirm the world the Bible describes, a real, complex, interconnected ancient world filled with nations, treaties, wars, and people who truly lived. The deeper we dig, the more the past refuses to stay buried. And if stones could speak, they would tell us this. The Bible was written in a real world, with real cities and real empires. If you want to continue uncovering the archaeological evidence behind Scripture, like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts and subscribe to ArchaeoQuest. Because the next discovery may already be waiting beneath the soil.